This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. As everyone probably knows, we are getting closer to the 2026 midterm elections. And with that, we got to talk more about the state of the race. Because while I do agree that Democrats right now, they are the favorites to win the House. Let's be honest, they're going to probably take the House as of now. Could that change? Absolutely. And in fact, it's not even a guarantee that Democrats take the House later this year. But people are making it sound like that 2026 is going to be a historical blue wave where Democrats gain 70 seats in the House. They get a supermajority in the Senate. Is that possible? I guess there is a possibility there could be a huge blue wave. But people are overstating how likely that is to occur even now. And that's because, well, look at this headline right here. Republican cash advantage threatens to swamp the Democrats in the midterms. And yes, this is real. This is a real headline from the New York Times. And just look at this chart right here. Look at this. This is the cash on hand as of now, not in November 26. Again, anything can happen. But as of now, look at the cash on hand advantage Republicans have. The National Committee for the GOP has more money, cash on hand, than the entire Democrat apparatus has as of now. Yeah, this is how bad the Republican advantage for money is as of now. Just for the core super PACs, the core organizations of the Republican Party. Look at this. It's well over $600 million on cash on hand. Democrats, they're not even at 200 million. This right here is why even now, though I think Democrats are the favorites to take back the House, it's not a guarantee because Republicans are raising the definition of fuck you money. They're not just having a small advantage. This is a historical advantage they have as of now. For the first time in years, Democrats are sounding the alarm about money problems. The RNC begins this year with nearly 100 million more than the Democrat National Committee. The Supreme Court is widely expected to loosen restrictions on party funds in the coming months in a way that could help Republicans take fuller advantage of their fundraising edge. President Trump is also sitting atop a super PAC with more than $304 million, a huge sum for which there is no Democrat counterweight. Yeah, so we're not talking about a tiny advantage, which already that's huge because most of the time, Democrats are the ones that have these insane 3-to-1 margins when it comes to fundraising. They fundraise a shitload of money. It's insane. But for the first time in a long time, like the New York Times is saying, Democrats are panicking about fundraising. Because yes, there are some candidates that are raising a bunch of money. And that's always been the case where, yeah, Democrats, they have some candidates that raise infinite money. But on top of that, they would have these super PACs with infinite money as well. And they're not getting that. And that's the problem. Republicans, right now, they are obliterating Democrats on super PACs. Not by a tiny margin. Just, again, look at this chart. I can't get over how much cash on hand Republicans have versus Democrats. It is insane. It's not a close, $1 million difference. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars more for the GOP. It is insane. It is incredible how much money Republicans have. New records show that the three leading arms of the National Republican Party and the two super PACs aligned with House and Senate Republicans entered this year with more than double the cash of the equivalent Democrat groups. The Republican groups had a combined $320 million compared with roughly $137 million for the Democrats after accounting for debts. My gosh, is this a small advantage? Especially for Republicans, because usually it's the opposite. Usually, Democrats are the ones that have this insane, record-breaking fundraising advantage. but they don't this time. And a significant reason for this big gap is the amount of debt Democrats have. I have no clue how it's possible to be in this much debt after you raised $2 billion in 2024, a record sum, yet you're in debt after that. It was insane. And even to this day, they still have a lot of outstanding debt. That's the problem Democrats have. They screw themselves over in 24. And yes, even if you ignore the debt stuff, they still have a fundraising issue because they would still be far behind. But this added debt just makes it even more insane. Any Democrat who isn't concerned isn't serious, said Bradley Baychek, a co-founder of American Bridge, a Democrat donor network and super PAC. His group held a closed-door conference with more than 100 members in Florida last month, and the financial disparity was a hot topic. Yes, Democrats have momentum on our side and a wide opportunity map, but we have a glaring disadvantage in overall money. And that's a big issue because, yeah, theoretically, you could maybe compete in Ohio, which again, I still find that ludicrous that people still believe crap like that. Like, oh my gosh, Texas is going to flip. They've been saying this for years now. And that's why I think some of the blue wave narratives are kind of bullshit. Seriously, if you keep repeating the same stuff you've been saying for a decade now, do you think it's going to happen this time magically? But it doesn't matter because okay, you have a wide open map, but you have no money. You can spend a lot of money in like Georgia, North Carolina, and Maine, or something like that. But without having enough money, do you really think you can financially compete in Iowa or I don't know, like Texas? It's insane. It is insane. The Democrats have convinced themselves, oh, we're gonna win by some miracle. We don't gotta do anything. But in reality, the people that know this stuff, they're realizing, oh shit, this is a problem. While individual Democratic candidates in some top races are far outpacing Republicans in fundraising, the main party operations tell a different story. Adding Mr. Trump's super PAC money, plus roughly 70 million is scattered across other federal accounts, and Republicans begin the year with an unheard advantage of more than $550 million. This right here is why, even with the Epstein stuff, even with some of the base being disappointed, I don't think 2026 is going to be a blue wave or a blue tsunami or whatever. Democrats may take back the House, but here's the thing Republicans have. They have fuck you money. They have infinite money to work with. Democrats don't. That's the one advantage that no matter what happens, Republicans have. And there's going to be a couple $1 billion possibly spent this year because there are some other big donors. They have told Trump in his campaign they're going to send him a lot of money. So that's the issue Democrats have. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars they have right now they can use. It is incredible. Interviews with more than a dozen strategists and officials in both parties reveal that money, which has been a strength for Democrats throughout most of the Trump era, could suddenly become a liability for the party. That would be a sharp reversal from 2024 when Vice President Harris and the DNC raised $2 billion. Again, I can't get over that. You have $2 billion in just a couple of months and you went through all of that and then some? Seriously? And apparently, because they raised so much money they lost, that actually hurt them. Because apparently some Democrat donors, they're like, the hell with this. I'm not going to give money to the DNC. You waste $2 billion and you get crushed? Really? Trump has 99 problems going into the midterms, said a Democrat strategist, but money ain't one. And yeah, that is a fact. No matter what happens with the Epstein stuff, which I still think is a nothing burger, people are going to forget about it. It's slowly dying in interest. But really, the money advantage Republicans have is unheard of, even for Democrat standards. Democrats, they had huge advantages, but not to this scale. Exactly how much of Mr. Trump's super PAC war chest he'll be willing to spend is a question. And yes, this is a serious question. How much is he willing to spend? But honestly, based on the reporting going around, it looks like they're going to be spending quite a bit of money. as apparently Trump's top White House and political advisors, they met last week. They met last week in Palm Beach, and they are prepared to spend a bunch of money in 2026, which is huge. Because that's a big question. Would Trump really go through with that? And yes, of course. President Trump, he wants to defy old trends, old historical trends, and not only have a good midterm, but even expand the majority in both the House and the Senate. Is that likely? Of course not. I think that's not going to happen. But Trump's the type of person where he wants to say, yeah, I was the guy that defied all odds. I am the reason Republicans got a bigger House majority, a bigger Senate majority. It proves that I'm popular. Trump wants that. In his campaign, they're not pissing around. They know that they have some problems, but this money advantage, it changes the game completely. Because think about this. Yes, Democrats, they are winning the narrative war right now with the Epstein stuff, even though the revelations from yesterday kind of damper that a little bit. But still, right now, Democrats, yeah, they're winning the narrative war right now. But let's cut the crap. Will the average person care about this stuff in a month or in 2 months, let alone in like 9 months? That's the issue Democrats have. They peaked way too early, in my opinion. Could that change? Of course. But right now, they're peaking, which, yeah, that's going to help them in some polls and stuff right now. But guess what? We're 9 months out. And the average voter does not give a shit about stuff that happened 3 months ago. Remember the Rob Reiner tweet? Oh, that's the end of Trump. Nobody gives a shit about it. This happens like 10 times a week at this point. It's just crazy. People say this is the end of Trump because of this random story or this dumb thing he says. A week later, nobody gives a shit. That's the truth about the average voter. They don't care. They really don't care about this random stuff that happened 10 months ago. That's why Republicans having this cash advantage is a lot bigger than people think, because they can set the narrative at any point they want. And in fact, you scroll down here, apparently they are planning on a possible advertising blitz as early as this spring or summer. Now, to be fair, they have not decided how much money they want to spend, but it's sounding like they could be prepared for an ad blitz at any point. And I think do it right now. Start an ad blitz immediately. You want to know why? It forces Democrats to go on the defense. That's why Republicans should do an ad blitz right now. Not in 5 months, not in 10 months. Do it right now and get the narrative back right away. Because then you control the narrative the entire time and you could build momentum now. That's why Republicans should do now. I'm not saying like, oh, these advertisements now, they're going to change the election. I'm not saying that, but getting momentum right now and trying to change the narrative right away, that's going to help big time later this year, especially with this huge cash advantage. Republicans have infinite money, and we're not even talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk has fuck you money. He could spend $10 billion if he wants, and it wouldn't impact him at all. That's why Republicans, they have the advantage on this front. Set the narrative now. Remind everybody how much of a disaster this country was when Democrats were in power. When they completely opened the border, everybody was allowed in. God knows how many people really entered. It was a disaster. Millions of people each year. It was a mess. And compare it to today. You may not like how Trump's doing immigration stuff where it's not far enough in some areas, but objectively, who secured the border? Trump did, without changing a single law. Remind people of that. Remind people of all the insane stuff Democrats were doing. And also, I would say, hey, these people, they're attacking Trump for decency and all this nonsense. Remind everybody how these same people responded to Kirk getting shot. Remind people of this stuff. Remind people why you cannot vote Democrat. You may not like Trump, may not like the Republican Party, but objectively speaking, who's better? Who is better for you? That's what Republicans should do right now. Remind everybody how insane these people are. Because that goes a long way. I'm telling you, that's the best way Republicans can handle this. Do this right away. Remind people who the Democrat Party, who they really are, push through the bullshit, and that's going to help big time. And Republicans, they don't got to worry about money. They already have infinite money, and on top of having Elon Musk back. Elon Musk, apparently, he is prepared to spend a lot of money. He's already spent like 20 million, I think. And allegedly, his super PAC, they have restarted operations. His aides are pulling races where the group could get involved and take in meetings with top Republican officials. So you got Elon Musk back, who's going to spend, he's going to spend a bunch of money this year. He's going to spend even more than 24. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, if Republicans go through with this. But this is the one thing Democrats don't have. No matter how you try to spin this, they don't got money. They don't have the infinite money they used to have. Act Blue is falling apart. That's another separate story. That even to this day is falling apart. Republicans, they don't have to worry about that. They have Musk. They have these super PACs that already have hundreds of millions of dollars. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.